videos. We're going to try all the streams. All the streams. We're going to try them. See where this gets us. Okay. Things green so far. Can we add Facebook? Oh. Wait, no, I already have the stream key. Still no drop frames. Dare I add Instagram? Oh my God. Is it going to work properly for once? Holy shit, dude. Holy shit, dude. It's working. It's working. Oh my God. After much trial and tribulation and testing and failing, I think I have finally got OBS back to where it was before that last fucking update. Holy shit, that was annoying. Oh my God. I knew it too. I was like, there's no way the issue is my internet, because it kept saying drop frames network, which typically means, you know, you have a you're using too much bit rate, or you don't have a high enough internet speed. And I fucking knew it. Mary Lou Brooks, Cacciatore, welcome. I knew that wasn't the case. I fucking knew it. I was right. I'm always right. I am always right. Never wrong. Never have been wrong once. Levi, welcome. Hamzi, welcome. Hey, Hamzi, how are you? Good to see you. All right. I think I can finally get down to the shit that matters. So, first of all, I have to do my usual eating of the orange because I did not time my meals properly. Okay, hang on, let me do this. A little bit of this. Fuck! Why is it saying drop frames now? Oh, there's not. Okay, good. Okay, so, God, his fucking face is just nauseating. So, this is the polling. This is 90% of Democrats in today's CBS/YouGov poll want the Democratic Party to focus on passing Medicare for all. Party leaders are in the 10%. They are they're literally the 1%, too, of people that don't want to have health care for all. So, naturally, Hakeem Jeffries came out and said this.
Medicare for All, you co-sponsored Medicare for All legislation from 2013 to 2021. You've not co-sponsored it since you became Democratic leader. Will you put Medicare for All up for a vote if you become Speaker?
Well, listen, these are all conversations that the House.
You see how turned on he was to answer that question? He was like, oh, I can't wait to shit on Medicare for all. Oh, I love this. I love shitting on Medicare for all. Fucking idiot.
House Democratic Caucus is going to have. Right now, we're focused on November 3rd, not January 3rd. What we are promising the American people is that we're going to fight to make health care.
You're focused on November 3rd, the midterms, meaning that you have to have policies that people will actually want to support so that they can, you know, vote for you. And now you don't even want to have one of the most popular polling things like nationally? What the fuck? This is why Democrats lose elections. They have no idea what the fuck they are doing. And yes, Lord Leland, I see that you are a pedophile just like your boy.
Trump is on the Epstein.
You hear that, Leland? You get it because Trump is a pedophile.
Trump is on the Epstein list.
You know that all these MAGA pedophiles are really upset about the idea of the Chris Hansen movie coming out because they're like, oh, fuck, is he back there again? Pedophiles like L.A. Lend, you know that they are just having nightmares about the next time they go to one of their elementary school meetups. Chris Hansen, why don't you have a seat right over there? Have a seat. It's not even Chris Hansen. It's just going to be Robert Pattinson. He's just sitting there. Why don't you have a seat? Have a seat right over there.
Affordable for every single American. And we know there's a lot of damage that Republicans have done
you like the
that
song,
we've
Levi?
got to restore and repair. For instance, Republicans have enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history.
Okay, I was I was fucking off. I got to listen to his answer.
American. And we know there's a lot of damage that Republicans have done that we've got to restore and repair. For instance, Republicans have enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. More than $1 trillion or so has been cut from Medicaid, and what you're going to have is about 14 million Americans lose.
So why the fuck would you not be in favor of Medicare for all? What? He's like, well, the problem is that the Republicans did all these cuts, and so with all these cuts, they're putting people off health care. Oh, so you want to pass Medicare for all, right? Fuck no. What is this word salad?
Access to health care.
Do you personally
God, I
support
fucking
Medicare
hate
for all?
Democrats.
Do you personally support Medicare for all?
No, as you indicated, I have.
He had to really think on that one for a minute. What are my donors going to allow me to say here? Ooh, I better pivot and not actually answer the question.
Haven't co-sponsored the Medicare for All legislation that has been introduced over the last several years. I do think we need to figure out how to fix our broken healthcare system and then build something better once we repair the damage that has been done. Now, that will include doing things like extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits so that more than 20 million people who have seen their health insurance premiums skyrocket, in some cases by up to $1,000 a month. That's not sustainable, and that's something that Donald Trump and Republicans have visited upon the American people.
Just to be very clear, though, as a Democratic leader in the House, would you vote for or against Medicare for all?
I think, as you've indicated in your question to me, it's not legislation that I currently am co-sponsoring.
This is what people hate about politicians. They just spin the fucking wheels. Like, you look at a ghoul like a ghoul. You look at a good ghoul like Abdullah Sayed. You look at a guy like Abdullah Sayed. The Lisan al-Ghaib. The Lisan al-Sayed. Abdullah Sayed, when he gives his answers, he's not spinning the wheels, right? He is hitting his talking points. He is reframing the question. He's refusing to allow the narrative to get too drawn off course. Now, this guy is directly asked, would you, what did she say? Like, as Speaker, would you support
Just
it?
to be very clear, though, as a Democratic leader in the House, would you vote for or against Medicare for all?
Like, this is a very clear and simple yes or no question. But because he's anti-Medicare for all, because he's a centrist hack that is bought and paid for by the big pharma and all of the other medical companies, he can't actually answer the question honestly. So watch this. He's going to spin the wheels, spin the wheels, spin the wheels, spin the wheels. He's not even good at it. Like some politicians, again, like Abdullah Sayed, they can do what's called a non-answer, right? They'll be asked a question directly. They won't answer the question, but they will give an answer to something else, which pushes their narrative, and that drives the talking points, whereas a guy like Hakeem Jeffries does the exact opposite. Just spin the wheels, spin the wheels, spin the wheels. People fucking hate this shit.
I think, as you've indicated in your question to me, it's not legislation that I currently am co-sponsoring or that I support.
Okay.
But we do
That's not the
support
fucking
the
question,
notion that
dude.
we've got to find a path forward to fix our broken healthcare system and make healthcare affordable for every single American.
Which we have just seen that providing Medicare for all would enlist, like, I can't remember the exact amount. I think it was like over 100 million Americans. It would also save $1 trillion in spending. That's what latest analysis would do. So it's like, you want to give more health care to people? Well, start there. This is becoming the Trump infrastructure week with Hakeem Jeffries, right? It's like, well, Mr. Speaker or Mr. Minority Leader, how would you go about bringing more health care to people? Well, you know, I can tell you in 13 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes. This is fucking stupid. Democrats always do this, and this is just, it's why people hate elections. It's why people hate politics, is you can't get a good answer, and the stuff that the people want, again, like austerity, like this austerity theft count of posts here, people want this. They want a Medicare for all. This is his own base, and he is just thumbing his fucking nose at his own base, just like these centrist baby killers do when it comes to Israel. You want Medicaid for all, so you want people to live and not die. That's so undie from you. Dead people need representation. We got to make sure the dead people are getting there. Hey, you know what? You know what you do when you give Medicare for all, man? You are putting coffin makers out of business, okay? You know, mortuary assistants. You're putting them out of business, man. We need to have less Medicare for all and more death for everybody. Is that what you're getting at, Homsey? You got your popcorn, Levi? Okay, good. It was funny. It's funny. It is funny how David Jolly was a Republican up until last year, and then magically became a Democrat to run against Donalds. You're talking about Byron Donalds. I live in Florida and can say, though, Democrats here are basically Republicans in disguise. Jolly is actually to the right of Byron on a few issues, and the only reason the Dems ran him was because he had offenses to Cubans and Venezuelans. Look, I don't know the Florida market very well, so I can't comment on that, but I will say the Florida Democratic Party is an actual fucking disaster. Worse than the DNC, just wasting money, not only on shit ground game, but shit candidates and shit politics. So here's the other thing is they want to talk about being offensive to Cubans and Venezuelans because, oh, how dare you be a socialist when Cubans and Venezuelans fled socialist countries. Yes. Now, welcome to capitalist America where socialists fuck you. Like, that's what's happening. These Cubans and Venezuelans that are sitting in Florida still pissy about, you know, Castro and Venezuela and all this and that because socialism is so bad. Okay, now you get to enjoy the opposite. Welcome to the capitalist side of things where everything sucks. You get no health care. You have no social safety net. And by the way, the dictator is still a fascist. Like, maybe if you just ran on the idea that, yeah, those people running socialists and the person running this capitalist hellscope are bad people, but guess what? I'm here to just give you fucking health care. I'm here to make sure that we have affordable food and grocery stores. I'm here to make sure that we punish the billionaire pedophiles that price gouge your goods. Did you ever think of that? Like, maybe they should just run on that shit. But what do I know? Right now, I dislike both parties. Merton Esper, I fucking totally understand. I totally fucking understand. Levi, your grandma's back! Dude, that's so good to hear. Congratulations, man. Holy shit. That's got to be such a relief for you, dude. I'm so happy to hear that. I've got a couple stories coming on that are kind of, you know, what you were talking about with that. So please hang tight because I got those stories coming up next. So, any state in the union will find Democrats running right-wing Republicans against Republicans because they have to. Even the minority leader of the state legislature here was a Republican 2 years ago, then became the minority leader. That's just because true Democrat candidates have never been tried before in Florida. Obviously, that's what's wrong. But also, Florida is basically California of the East Coast because all the Democrats. Karen Bass, she's not a fucking Democrat. Nithya Raman is probably the closest thing you have to an actual Democrat out here because she's a flake, she's a hack, but she says she's going to do leftist policies and then she gets in charge and actually does nothing but sit on her fucking hands. Karen Bass is legitimately, though, a Republican. Everyone she's associated with is legitimately a Republican. They just register as Democrats. That's really good to hear, Levi. I'm really happy for you. So in the interest of party unity and bringing in this Big Tent, because remember, Francesca Hong brought in over 300,000 voters, a record turnout in Wisconsin. Abdul El-Sayed won his primary with record turnouts. Obviously, this socialism brand, especially we're seeing in New York, there was record turnouts there. So clearly, if you want a Big Tent, this means you should welcome the socialists to your party. Right, Hakeem Jeffries?
Socialists belong in the Democratic Party, Leader Jeffries?
Well, what I can say is that I do not support defunding the police. I do not support open borders. I do not support abolishing the Senate.
Son of a bitch!
We're focused on actually solving problems
God,
that
I hate this son of a
hardworking
bitch.
American taxpayers
It's okay, Rufus, I'm
want
just
us
playing.
to solve, which is to lower the high cost.
I upset my dog. He thinks I'm actually upset. Hey, it's okay. I'm just playing. I'm playing a character. Yeah. I'm playing a character. I'm playing a doofus. Just like you, Rufus Doofus. Rufus Doofus. Will he show up on camera if I tilt it down? I think he's just blended. Yeah, you can't even see him. He's blended in to the background here. Will it work if I... Where's your noggin? Where's your noggin? You can kind of see his shoulder there. Okay, whatever. Moving on.
Cost of living in a situation where life is far too expensive in this country. That's the Democratic agenda. That's what House Democrats are fighting to achieve.
Okay, I need to
a
back up
situation where life is far too expensive and actually solving problems that
Okay, I
hard
need to
to
back up
say
further.
is that I do not support defunding the police. I do not support open borders. I do not support abolishing
Defunding the police
Senate.
is very popular
We're
among Democrats,
focused
by the
on
way.
actually solving problems that hardworking American taxpayers want us to solve, which is to lower the high cost of living in a situation where life is far too expensive in this country. That's the Democratic agenda. That's what House Democrats are fighting to achieve.
Oh, my God. It truly is. It's Infrastructure Week. Hakeem Jeffries is doing Trump Infrastructure Week. That's what he's doing. I'll have a plan. I have the best healthcare plan ever. We're going to pay you to get treated. That's the way it's going to work. Doctors will come directly to your house via Star Trek teleporters. It's going to be great, people. Best healthcare plan ever. I'll tell you more about it and how we're going to fund it and how we're going to implement it in 2 weeks. That's what's happening here. It's like, we want to do this. We want a lower cost of living. We want to do this. We want to do that. Fucking how? Every single time these centrist hacks, when we talk about Medicare for all, they're always like, oh, but how would you pay for it? How would you pay for it? How would you pay for it? Oh, okay. Well, here's how we would pay for it. But how would you pay for it? We just told you. Why don't we ask you this? What is your idea to give more health care to people? We're going to give more health care to people. Really? How? We're going to give more health care to people. Go on, and they never have any fucking solutions. They never have any fucking answers. This is what I mean when I say just spinning the tires. God, this man is such a revolting, nauseating person.
Do you think, though, that there is room in the Democratic Party under the tent of the Democratic Party for Democratic Socialists? Is it big enough?
Well, listen, I don't support the DSA agenda as has been articulated by the DSA itself. Now, you're going to have individual members who have been elected in Democratic primaries, and if they are elected in the general in November, will be part of the House Democratic Caucus. It's going to be a broad caucus. There will be progressives, there will be New Dems, there will be Blue Dogs. What I'm excited about are the candidates who are running to flip seats in November to deliver us a majority that pushes back against Donald Trump's extremism and moves the country in the right direction.
I really don't understand his appeal for House leadership. I don't understand for Congress how this guy... I don't know. This guy makes Elon Musk look like fucking Don Suave, you know? Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? He is so not... Again... Look at a guy like Abdul Sayed. Look at the way he speaks. He is so engaging because he believes in this shit. Look at this. This man has been dead behind the eyes for the last 20 years of his life. Jesus Christ. Dems will win the House back. They're going to spend 2 years investigating, trying to impeach Trump, then hand the House right back to the Republicans. I don't think that's... I don't think they're going to hand the House right back to the Republicans, Merton. I think that is severely underestimating how poorly the economy is doing, how high the price of gas is, the unpopularity of the Iran war, the unpopularity of the ICE Gestapo, and how pissed people are about not knowing who the pedophiles are in the Epstein files, because it could be your fucking boss, right? So I don't think, I don't agree with that analysis going to hand the House right back to the Republicans. I really don't. Locke Dannon says, so you're Antifa? You're goddamn right. Are you saying you're Bofa? Bofa D's nuts?
That means us, House Democrats, lowering the high cost of living in areas like groceries and
How,
gas,
dude?
and, of course, housing, and fighting to make health care affordable for every single American, while at the same period of time pushing back against the corruption that has been unleashed on the American people and holding the crooks accountable.
He has all the passion of a fucking sex doll with this guy's yapping. Jesus Christ. He doesn't believe in any of this shit. I don't understand how this dude got to be leader.
Accountable beginning on day 1 in January of next year.
He's about as inspiring as Gavin fucking Newsom. Antifa organized terrorists funded through Act Blue from the DNC from George Soros. You killed terrorists, so fair game, good enough. That's good to know that you're a pedophile that supports Donald Trump, the Nazi, because anti-fascists beat the fuck out of Nazi pedophiles like you in World War II. And guess what, bitch? We're going to do it again. Because we're going to, all this Nazi shit that you're doing is going to play right into our hands. We're going to find you. We're going to hunt you down in the fucking streets. Do you want to know why, Lactanon? Because...
Fuck ICE, kick down the cage. Fuck mega heads, stuck in their rage. Fuck Trump, clown on a stage. We burning the system, setting the blaze. Fuck
Fuck you, Lacton, you're a pedophile! Nazi pedophile gonna get walked first to the wall. Not to the wall of the king of the north, but to the wall of Nuremberg. You're going to get walked to the front of the line. You're going to be tried by military tribunal where every single punishment of MAGA pedophile fascists like you are on the line. And by the way, this is actually why I own multiple guns, because of pedophiles like this Lactanon guy. Let's look into this pedophile really quick. Hold on, let me take off. All right, so I got to add him to my list here so we can target him later on. Got to send this over to Antifa HQ. We got to get our robot ravens flying around his house, monitoring him at all times, making sure he's not out there raping children. All right, where are you, fucking creep-ass pedophile? Okay, name spelled Lachdanun. Lactanon, 14 subscribers, 1 video. Joined March 8, 2012. 853 views. Congratulations, loser. His only video is a Lord of the Rings online Morrowind theme with a loot from 14 years ago. Like, I love Lord of the Rings, but you know how much of a fucking loser you have to be fucking pro-Trump when you're a fan of Lord of the Rings? You know how much of a fucking loser you have to be? That's like a eunuch being like pro-orgy. Like, it doesn't benefit you. You get nothing. Lord of the Rings is literally the story about fighting fascism. That's exactly what Sauron is. You are such a fucking loser, Lactanon. You absolutely don't fuck. Dim Dark Shark, anti-fascist. What does it mean? Where did you see any fascist? Okay, so for starting, Dim Dark, I understand why your name starts with Dim. Second, what do you think the word What do you think the word anti means? What do you think the word anti means? Follow-up question. What do you think the word fascist means? Now, put them together. Anti and fascist. What do you think it means? Yeah, Levi, I got a couple other things queued up here for these MAGA pedophiles that come into my chat. Let me see. Where was I? Oh, that's right. I was hating on Democrats. So we were talking about Medicare for All before these pedophiles came in and got me off topic here. Abdul Sayed's victory in Michigan's Democratic primary has complicated Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's plans to help Democrats retake the Senate in November, tying his party's fortune to a candidate some Democrats say they cannot support. So this is obviously Republican framing, and you know who could help reduce this? Chuck Boomer Doomer Schumer. You know, the guy who's supposed to be trying to make this big tent. Well, what we want to do here is have a big party for the Democrats. We're going to have a big tent. We're going to be a big tent party, except for the brown man from Michigan who wants to give health care for everybody. We cannot have that. Like, they want to have unity, right? They want to have a big tent. They want to have vote blue no matter who until it's someone that the people actually want, with policies that the people actually want. Then all that shit goes out the door really fucking quick. I got it. I mean, there are no fascists in the world. To be anti-fascist, you definitely live in your mother's basement then. And again, this is what the establishment gave us, right? Kirsten Sinema, well, first of all, this is just a wild story. Repeated sex with her bodyguard in homewrecker case. If I remember right, he was married. I don't know if she was. The ex-wife won $75,000. I think she's going after both of them. What is this? Okay, that's a good meme. That's a good fucking meme. That's funny. Okay, back on topic. Hating the Democrats and the establishment. That's right. That's where we're going here. Stop typing in the fucking chat so I can do my shit. I'm trying to do my speech. Sinema's post-Senate life as quasi-lobbyist at Hogan Lovells is repping crypto and AI. She's rolling in massive amounts of cash. She seemingly could have settled this case for $75,000. Instead, it's all public. This is what the establishment gave us, right? Chuck Schumer has fought harder against Abdul El-Sayed, who's not even in Congress yet, by the way, as is Hakeem Jeffries, than they have ever fought against fake-ass poser Democrats like this. When did Chuck Schumer ever punish her, censure her for anything along this line? When did he ever punish her, censure her for going against the party and voting against the very policies that Biden was trying to pass? The Democratic establishment loves this. They honestly, they do. Because as long as Kyrsten Sinema can do this shit, right, and get away with this means that people like Eric Swalwell, Jimmy Gomez, right? And, there's another one. Well, of course, John Fetterman, once his fucking Frankenstein ass gets out of there. But this means there is a path for the establishment when the voters kick him out. They want this, right? Because they can leave Congress at any time and be set up for life. Meanwhile, they'll deny us vacation days, they'll deny us health care, they'll send Nazi Gestapo into our streets, and they'll authorize money to go for bombs to a fucking war that are meant only to distract from the pedophile chief in the White House being in the Epstein files. The Democrats love this shit. That's why we keep seeing it. Realistic lenient policy is always taken to the extreme by the vocal minority and is seen by the extreme by the opposite party. The logical sense that most people try to argue for defund the police isn't to make it so we have no policemen or policemen don't have weapons and armor to protect themselves, but policemen shouldn't have unrestricted access to things like tear gas rifles and other such things. Whole thread, calm down. I'm just making jokes here. Yeah, the defund the police. Well, it doesn't help that the defund the police grassroots movement that started coming out of that was shunned by the Dems. Again, the Democrats want to have this big tent, but they want to shun the actual base that wants to do things like you're saying. It's really less defund the police and more reallocate resources so we're not paying $1 billion for pigs to sleep in their fucking cars and smoke crack in the police parking lot. And instead, maybe we take that money for their cruisers and their overtime and we instead give it to, I don't know, fixing roads, potholes, healthcare. There's all this shit we could be sending it to. Stop stringing if you don't. Oh, I already said that. I mean, any party will dick suck themselves. Well, it becomes like an Ouroboros of dick sucking. It's just can I even do it? It's just like this. It's just an Ouroboros of their own cock sucking. The Democrats are guilty in fails of Trump. Some of them are, yes. Some of them very much are. It's like the saying goes, no one hates the left more than the left. What? I promise you, whole thread, that is not true. No one hates the left more than the establishment. Because the left are the Democrat voters whom the establishment does not want because the establishment wants to be able to do what their donors want. Once the establishment is beholden to their voters, they can no longer take the fucking bribes from special interests. So I promise you, whole thread, that is not correct. Dude to the fourth. We are talking, I'm covering a lot of shit today. Today is mostly me shitting on the Democratic establishment because they're a bunch of fuck nuggets and they got it coming. Okay, where was I? So this is, for example, Ta-Nehisi Coates, great author, guy way smarter than I am. And he's talking about blaming voters who wouldn't back Kamala Harris over Gaza, which is what the establishment like to do. Because, again, the establishment has to defend Gaza. They have to defend Israel because that's where their bribes are coming from, right? That's where their campaigns are funded from. That's where their lavish lifestyles, their private jets, their luxury homes. That's where it's funded from. It's funding from Israel. It's funding from the military-industrial complex. So they want to blame the voters rather than fix the fucking policy. So here's what he had to say.
How did you make sense, and what do you make of the people?
I also love this guy. Is this, what's his name? This is Hassan Minhaj. That's his name, right? I've loved his career transition from Daily Show to doing this. He's brilliant.
People that blame those undecided voters or those voters who decided to not vote for Harris because of Gaza, you hear they get blamed for the outcome of the election.
Listen, again.
Wow, that's crazy. I've actually never heard Ta-Nehisi Coates speak. I've only read his books and seen the memes of him. That's an interesting. He does not sound like what I thought he would sound like. That's very interesting. It's a saying where the left is too focused on being technically correct to do anything in the sense of nearly everyone on the left is pro-universal health care. But until they can all agree on exactly how that is meant to work, who is meant to be covered, how is meant to be funded, etc., they won't even put it on a ballot. Whole thread, I firmly disagree. I firmly disagree with that narrative. I mean, at this point, everyone on the left, at least that I associate, I don't know what folks in your circle are like, but everyone in my leftist circles are like, we don't fucking care how. Just give everyone health care. Just put everything on the government credit card. We don't give a fuck at this point after seeing all the fucking bombs we can fund. So I disagree with your framing on that. Rabbit-D6Y, welcome.
And like, I think like I'm just going back to something that, we have said in this interview. Like, if you are someone who can go before a family who has to take calls to hear about their aunts, their cousins, their grandmothers bombed and buried under rubble and killed, and tell them you now have to vote for a member of the administration that is making that possible, that is literally killing your family.
I mean, that's about as clear cut as it gets. And that is literally what was happening. Because if you recall, during the DNC, the people from, the Palestinian community were going to the Democrats because they are their constituents. They vote Democrat, so therefore the Democrats should fucking listen to them if they want their vote. So a lot of them went there, and then they're saying, please, please, we're being bombed. Please, our family is dying. And the DNC surrogates' response was to twerk at them in mockery. In mockery, they would shake thine cheeks at the suffering of the people who have died under bombs and buried under rubble. I don't know what the fuck that accent was, but it's true. When the Palestinians were like, we would love to vote for you. We would love to vote for you. Muslims, Palestinians, all these people, the Arab community here, we're all saying we would love to vote for you, but you got to stop the bombs. It is the smallest of asks. The smallest of asks. Stop sending bombs to kill our family and we'll vote for you. I mean, well, shit, we are really handcuffed. Guess we got to keep bombing you. What the fuck? It was so simple, and the Democrats fucked it up royally. You should use the German government system, healthcare, respect to people in need, and so on. Otherwise, you will be like Mexico. Okay, Dimdark, you don't know what either of those countries are currently like. Where do you live, Dimdark? Because it sounds like you don't know what the hell is happening in Germany or Mexico right now, my friend.
Then that's you. That's not me. And that's not who I want to be. And what I would submit to you is that at the moment that you are asking people who are actively enduring a genocide to support a member of the administration that is making that genocide possible, you're telling them that it all depends on them. And you can't promise them that when that person comes in, that person is going to stop killing their family. If that's what your struggle hinged on, then I question the nature and I question the justice of your entire project.
Yeah, why would you believe anything else?
Because the moment we are addressing people like that, I like, you've lost something. Like, I feel like you kind of have lost the plot.
I mean,
and I get it. Like, you get so deep into things that you can't, see. But like, one of the things we forget, and I'm sorry I get animated about this, but
no, go.
You see, people have done that to us before,
that,
and we didn't like it. This is not new to us. Franklin Delano Roosevelt comes in, wants to have, a new deal that's going to build the American, middle class, is going to have all of these great programs. But what is the cost? The cost is that for those of us who live in northern cities, our brothers and sisters who are in the South are going to be excluded. They're going to be excluded from Social Security, going to be excluded from unemployment. Us ourselves, we will not be able to take advantage of those housing programs. Were we down with that? Were we like, oh, well, I guess we'll just have to pay the price? No, we weren't. And I know because I wrote about it and I know what people said at the time. We were not with that.
Right.
We were not, oh, well, I guess, it's for the greater good and we'll get ours. No, we loudly opposed that. And so that we would then turn around and tell a group of people that that are being wiped out, whose families are being wiped out, that they have to support it when we ourselves didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Frederick Douglass loudly opposed Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean? Like, he loudly opposed. He pushed the whole time. And so, like, there's an element, I don't want to say hypocrisy because I understand how it happens. I don't think it's that deliberate. I don't think it's that opportunistic. I think people really are suffering, and I think that's a very, very real thing, and I understand it. But look, me, as a guy that wrote the case for reparations, right? As a guy that actually lived in that, as a guy who talked to people who suffered under that New Deal and were excluded from it and paid for it and suffered the consequence, the lesson for me is that if we get access to any sort of power, we can't do what was done to us.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a crucial point. It's like, if you want someone to vote for you and you're not going to do what they want, why would they vote for you? You're not going to share in that power. You're not going to share in that wealth with them. Why the fuck would you go to their vote? I mean, imagine if I came to your door and I'm like, listen, I'm going to be camping out on your sofa. You're going to feed me. and I'm not going to pay any rent, but I demand that you also do my job for me. I demand that you also wash my clothes. That's what the Democrats were doing. They were demanding that these people who are just trying to afford a living for themselves and then also are trying to help people, you know, their families overseas, can't fucking... They just got the Democrats saying, well, if you don't do it, then you're stupid, and then you're a fascist, and this, that, and the other. And I will agree to a point of that there is a bit of self-interest involved. And it's like, look, you only have the two options, so it's either this or this, and we can maybe push this, but we definitely can't push this, so maybe go for Kamala. That was my argument. But the simple fact is, the biggest blame lies with the establishment, not the fucking voters. You cannot blame people who are seeing their families die because you're too fucking stupid to know that genocide bad is actually a good political slogan.
We need to know this. We need to know this. I just saw...
Oh, Chad's popping off. I mean, go to any rally and you'll see the brains of the left melt away. And don't get me wrong, I'm not right, so I'm not hating on the left or something like that. But I mean, more so, it's a well-recorded fact that the only reason the right is winning is because they are the only ones doing something in the grand scheme of things. It's kind of like you can have people who are pro-better homeless shelter and talk nonstop about it online, but you won't see them anywhere near a super whole thread. Again, I don't know what life experience you're living under, but that is the exact opposite here in LA. Here in LA, the fucking during the fires last year, the city came to leftist activists and leftist community organizers, begging them for help, begging them for supplies, because they were the ones actually going out providing water. They were the ones that actually had supplies. The city had fuck all, despite us sending millions to the city and billions to the pigs in taxpayer funds for them to be able to, you know, keep the community safe and fight fires. Instead, we got an incompetent government response from a right-wing Democrat, Karen Bass. So again, I don't know what you're talking about. I really firmly disagree. At least here in LA, the leftists are some of the most active people in the community. There is infighting. Of course there's infighting, but that doesn't mean that people are not still going for the cause. Actually, Germany's current political party is turning pro-capitalism, with their current governor advocating for private health care. Yeah, there's some other things happening in Germany right now, you know, like a rise of Nazis again. Nazis, the third sequel. That's where we're at right now. From Germany, I would never go to USA. I almost have fear to go to this wild world with sharks. Very rich wild world with sharks. What does that even mean? Wild world with sharks? I don't know what that means. Constitution of Germany forbids this. Yeah. Fascists don't really give a shit about constitutions. I don't know if you said you're from Germany, you should be pretty familiar with that concept, actually.
I don't know why that's such a revolutionary idea. The idea that one person's collateral damage can be someone else's red line.
Yeah.
This is my red line. This is affecting people that I know. This is affecting family members. I think
it's because the stakes were so high. And you know, like, my sympathetic part of it is, yeah, I get it. Like when Kamala Harris and all of them are saying, look, you are countenancing the end of democracy. So I mean, it's not like I thought they were exaggerating. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the stakes really were the stakes. It is bad. It's very, very bad. And so I get how that disrupts your ability to think about, you know, to think beyond that.
But
he's a really good speaker. I really love. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen him speak, but that was very, very insightful. And of course, then we just have to, again, look at the hypocrisy is what Hassan Piker is saying here, and it's true. The Republicans are always graded on a curve. They can get away with fucking anything and everything under the sun. Imagine if Obama had demolished the fucking East Ballroom, right? There would have been an army of Klansmen outside the White House breaking it down like a zombie storm in the fucking Walking Dead, you know?
Look at the hypocrisy. Can you imagine if Joe Biden was like, I don't care about prices, Jack. I don't care if our soldiers are dying.
Yeah, because this is for context. This was when Trump was literally saying, I don't think about prices. I don't think about it at all. I don't care. And saying that I got the clip up in a minute here where he was saying he doesn't care. The gas prices are going up and all this shit. So that's the context for this.
Can you imagine if Joe Biden said that? Can you imagine if Joe Biden said anything that Trump says with regular frequency, what people would do?
Well, a lot of this, what he's saying, is also because of the media landscape, right? Look at how the media has spent more time in the last month pillaring Hassan Piker over his 9/11 comments, but also Medicare for all, rather than Donald Trump, who has actually killed people by cutting Medicare and cutting medical benefits, and also he's a pedophile that raped children, and also he started a war over distraction from the Epstein pedophile files, and yet he also said hugely disrespectful shit about 9/11, saying that now that the World Trade Centers are gone, he has the biggest, tallest building in downtown New York City. No one has an easier. Republicans here's the difference. Republicans every single time are able to have an open book test, and they toss the book aside and they fail the test. Democrats have a closed book test, and it's like the SAT, the ACTs, and the law degree, studying the fucking bar exam all in one, and you have to do it in 5 minutes. That's the media standard for Democrats versus Republicans.
What the Republican Party would do with that information.
Long pause. What's going on here?
Imagine if Obama was like, I don't care if our soldiers are having a tough time on our aircraft carriers. It's okay.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, you're at $4.
Oh my God, of course his speech has already been remixed. Jesus Christ. You talk nonsense from World War II. You don't know anything about Germany. The only thing I know that U.S. departments are $40 trillion more. What do you mean? Oh, you mean debts are $40 trillion more in 2026 than should be. Economics of USA will soon collapse. Only the question of time. I like how you say I talk nonsense from World War II, and yet I'm literally describing the rise of fascist Nazi Germany. But sure, Dim Dark. Like I said, I understand why your first name is Dim. Speaking of, we have a mega pedophile in the chat. It's a second time. This is like a third time repeat offender. Regina-W6K. Hey, remember how Trump is a pedophile? Is this your reaction when you find out? Did you cry like a whiny little bitch? Because Trump is a pedophile that raped children? Your entire identity was about saving the children, and then you learned that Trump was the one butt-fucking them outside Mar-a-Lago every goddamn night with Jeffrey Epstein? Was that your reaction? Tell me, Regina, was that your reaction? Regina-W6K, you are a pedophile! Thank you, now fuck off.
It's okay. I'll never apologize.
Having to choose between gas and food, a very hard decision.
I have family members who are ill, and I can't go visit them across the state or up north because it's too expensive right now to drive.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline,
I can't believe this shit got remixed already.
Okay.
Like, can you imagine? Dude, Brandon. If Brandon said, I did NATO. Who cares if the price is a little bit higher? I did NATO, Jack. If Brandon said that, they would be like, Brandon didn't say that, and the Republicans still wanted to kill him. Oh my God, what would Fox News do with that soundbite? Oh my God, they would nut. We would never hear anything else other than just that soundbite. We talk about Marie Antoinette, the let him eat cake moment. Donald Trump is telling people, eat shit cakes on a daily basis. And no one seems to care. It blows my mind.
And that speech, I've got it pulled up here in a minute, and I'll go through a couple of the segments. But none of that will get nearly the amount of media attention as fucking Francesca Hong saying that she wants to cancel Thanksgiving. And yet Trump is there saying, I don't care. Let them eat shit cakes. Let them have to shit in a pile with the toilet getting higher and higher until the toilet room is nothing, till the bathroom is nothing but shit. I don't care. And none of that will get nearly the attention of Francesca Hong's like cancel Thanksgiving shit. Man, 2 years ago, everyone in the politics section of Twitch was a MAGA Trump fan. I almost sure every one of you voted for Trump. My brother in Christ, all this shit that I'm saying and all this shit that I've been covering, you think I voted for Trump? Fucking hell, you are truly living up to your name, Dim. Dim doesn't even do it, like, saying you are Dim does not do it justice enough, dude. It really doesn't.
No, we're talking about removing them for the country that they came to illegally. There's
all right, let me back up. So I guess I haven't seen this clip yet, but this is a Fox Fake News pedophile host interviewing, I'm not sure who this is. I think this guy, yeah, so he's running for, is this Elijah Manley? Yeah, it's Elijah, isn't that his last name? Manley? Yeah, Elijah Manley. It's this guy here running against, I cannot remember who he's running against. Why do I know fucking Florida elections? I'm in California. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's just enjoy.
No, we're talking about removing them for the country that they came to illegally. There's almost no country in the world that allows people to just cross their border and begin a life inside that country. You have to come in legally. Would you not agree with that?
I agree with that, but there's...
See, so that's obviously right-wing framing, so I want to see how he goes about this. I mean, pretty blanket, normal statement, which most people agree with, actually.
A right and a wrong way to carry out our laws. We have a constitution in this country. We have rule of law. We have a Congress, and we cannot have a situation where we have people terrorizing not just immigrant communities, but terrorizing our communities, shooting random people in the face like Alex Perty. I mean, this is not acceptable way to carry out our laws.
I think that's actually an excellent answer, personally. I mean, yeah, I agree that we, have a border and we should enforce our laws. And the way we should enforce our laws is by shitting on the Constitution and murdering Americans and deporting citizens. Like, it's a pretty fucking basic, simple way to respond. And I'm glad that he's like you can't let them frame it the way that they do and you go on the defensive. That's what people like Hakeem Jeffries. I think that's what I couldn't quite picture it. Couldn't quite frame it right in the way I wanted to say it, but that's what Jeffries was doing that entire previous interview we were watching. He's always on the back foot, always defensive, whereas this guy is like, yeah, sure, I agree, and also there's a Nazi Gestapo terrorist force that is destroying our communities, and that is where the problem is, not in people coming across the border.
This country, the president and the executive branch need to enforce the laws, but they need to obey Congress, because Congress is part of our Constitution in this country.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Elijah. Congress's laws are the laws that ICE is upholding. And I'm just going to ask you one more time because you didn't answer my question. Are you okay with someone crossing our border illegally, even though that's against the laws of the United States? I'm not talking about how they're removed. Are you okay with them coming in illegally?
I think I answered this question.
Yeah, you did.
I think I answered this question.
Thank you.
We have to enforce the laws that we have on the books if someone's coming into the country illegally.
Okay, so they should be removed.
There is a right and a wrong way to enforce the law. We cannot shoot people in the street. We cannot kidnap Americans off the street indiscriminately. You may be okay with that. I'm not okay with that, Martha.
No, I'm not okay with anyone being removed indiscriminately. I'm okay with the laws.
And yet that's what's happening. That's what I would have hit her back with. Yeah, but that's what's happening right now. You have American citizens being deported. You have people who fought for this country in Afghanistan being deported. That is what is happening. That is what your network supports. That's what I would have been much more openly antagonistic and hostile. So, but maybe that's a political calculation on him, or maybe he's just, he's just a nice guy and I'm an asshole. That's probably the bigger factor.
With people doing their jobs. So, well, hopefully you'll come back because we have a lot more to talk about. So, Elijah Manley, thank you. We'll be watching your race tomorrow in Florida in the 20th.
Next you will vote for is J.D. Vance. This one is much more hardcore than Trump. Then again, what are you talking about, Dimdark? Okay, Dimdark, I'm going to ask you a direct question, and if your next comment doesn't answer it, I'm just muting you because this is getting dumb. Like, I was giving you enough time to yap, but now you're just being stupid. Do you honestly think, after everything that I've been saying, after all the stuff that I've been covering here, do you think that I would support Trump? Do you think that I would support J.D. Vance? It's a yes or no question. Because if you think that's the case, you are medically stupid. And if I'm just misunderstanding what you're saying, then you can clarify that. Because right now, none of the shit you're saying makes any fucking sense. So in the interest of the big tent party, right? and uniting the caucus, right? Because that's what we got to do. Unite the caucus. Unite the caucus. The centrist Democrats love to talk about that vote blue no matter who, get behind the candidates. So we have Michael LaRosa, who was fired from Joe Biden's press staff. He didn't actually do anything useful, and he was so bad at it that he got let go, if I recall right. So I just want to see what he's yapping about here. Oh, we have another trigger mega pedophile. Andrew F7483, leftism all boils down to preferring hood/hip-hop culture over white culture. Yeah, you talk and dress like a normal white dad, so what's even the point? I was going to say that, what? Doesn't that just kind of prove that you're full of shit? Leftism all boils down to hip-hop culture, but you dress like white man. Why you look white? Why you look like normal white man? This not what Trump told me it was supposed to be like. Maybe you're just fucking stupid and wrong. Did you ever think about that? Also, hey, Andrew F., while you're here, remember how Trump has enriched himself and made like $1 billion, had made more stock trades than anybody else in the country, in the presidential history, and also you have gotten fuck all in terms of Doge checks. Remember that, dude? Remember that? Good use of your vote, Andrew F. 7483, whatever the fuck your name is. Dip Dark is rage baiting? Yeah, probably. I'm just going to mute him after that.
What kind of a Democratic strategist are you? I mean, you come on a national show.
Getting cooked by his own audience.
A must-win state like Michigan has an unfit candidate in El Said for Senate. And I can see you saying that maybe in the run-up. I didn't vote for Said. I voted for Stevens. And it's okay. You could have promoted her as well. But now that we're down to the general, and are you trying to get Democrats not to vote for him? You can have your own personal views, which is fine, if you don't like El Said and others. But as a Democratic strategist coming on a national program, I think that's totally unacceptable, and I think that you're doing a disservice. What do you say about that?
Hey, Stanley, before we talk to Michael, you said you did not vote for Abdul El Said. Will you support him in the general election?
Yes, I most certainly will, which is the reason I'm calling, as I'm calling on the Democratic line. He is not DSA. People try to put him off as DSA. He says he's not DSA. The DSA did not endorse him. And even if he was, I don't understand Michael coming on and doing that. Yeah,
great. Let's get an answer from Michael LaRosa.
Well, I've never supported a Republican in my life, for the Senate, for the White House, for Congress.
And yet you're doing it now.
And I don't live in Michigan.
Oh my God, I've never heard. I don't remember this fucker sounding like this. What's wrong with his voice? Did he just take a huff of helium? Is he impersonating Ben Shapiro? What the fuck is this voice he's doing?
So, I mean, my opinion really doesn't matter that much, but I could never support El Sayed for a couple of reasons. One, there's certain things that do transcend politics, that do transcend parties. And that's okay. That's what I was saying. Vote blue no matter who. The problem with that is who still matters. At least it matters to me.
Okay, so what is it? Okay, so he's saying there are some things that transcends politics, right? So obviously, the issue with El Sayed has to be life or death, very firmly rooted in reality, and something that other people can agree with by and large, right? That's what he's gonna have such a good answer for what that truly transcendental issue is.
Just come from a time when I watched people jumping out of windows on 9/11, 70 miles from when the towers were falling and burning for 3 months. We could smell it from where I was from in Pennsylvania because.
Oh, you're a fucking racist. That makes sense. It makes sense. You're a racist. Abdul Sayed actually treated patients from 9/11, but you discount all of that because he's Muslim with a Muslim-sounding name. Fuck this guy. He got bullied off Twitter. He deleted his Twitter account. We fucking did it. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. God, we need to bully more people off of Twitter if they're just racist fucks. And I love how the only people we can bully off Twitter are liberals. I mean, it's not great. I would much rather be able to bully, some of the MAGA pedophiles like, what's that fucker's name? Rudy Giuliani or James Woods. We did get James Woods to lock his account. But, this is just too funny. that a fucking loser racist like Michael LaRosa is the guy that got bullied off Twitter. No notes. Perfect.
Of how the wind blew. It's personal to me.
What the fuck? Yeah, see, everyone else. Are you using a soundboard? No. I just got a couple of videos pulled up in the background. So I need to get a soundboard, but I haven't quite figured that out. So this is that crazy viral clip of Oliver Larkin, who was also got another awesomely viral clip from Fox Fake News where they were like, why are you in favor of immigrants? Because immigrants come here and rape children. He's like, well, you know, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. I don't see any immigrants in there. And the Fox Fake News was like, we got to cut this interview short. And he does it again. My man, Oliver Larkin, is delivering.
Israel is committing a genocide in
That's
Gaza.
incorrect. That is factually incorrect.
It has been
That's
regarded
propaganda.
by the United Nations and Amnesty International and even Israeli human rights organizations, including B'Tselem. There's
The
a number
definition of genocide in the UN has said this, does not apply to what many people might think as a disproportionate wartime action. That's what that is.
Holy fuck, this
in many
bitch is
people's
evil.
minds. Genocide is a very specific thing. Actually, genocide being committed against Jewish people, not by Israel. And that's just a fact.
I mean, the United Nations recently in Geneva found that the IDF had deliberately targeted women and children. There's been famine conditions imposed over the Gaza Strip by the blockading of aid entering the Strip. There's been indiscriminate bombing of hospitals, of mosques, of churches, of...
Again, I'm going to have to stop you as that is factually not correct. But I hear
lady
you
is crazy.
talking about something very important to a lot of people, and certainly who think that way. But as a congressman, and I'm being told we have to wrap. But as a congressman for District 25, I'm hoping your viewers will be able to hear you flesh that out a little more.
See, again, this is the curve, right? He's basically just telling the truth. He's telling the truth about what's happening in Gaza, and he is censored for it. This is the actual censorship we see, right? The media never gives leftists the same amount of airtime as they do to actual pedophile child rapists on the right. They don't. And then when this dude comes up here, and frankly, I would have liked to see him push a little bit more. You know, she wants to interrupt him, be like, no, Glenda, or Glenna, I guess it is. I need to stand firm on this because this is what is happening. This is what's been, I have seen with my own eyes the footage of those hospitals being firebombed by Israel. I have seen the footage of the quadcopters shooting pregnant women in the stomach. We have all read the reports of Israel soldiers targeting and shooting young boys, specifically in the testicles. I don't know what is genocidal if not those kinds of actions. I would like to see him push back on that more, but again, maybe I'm just a dick. I'm just a fucking dick, and I'm not going to be... If someone is going to... I can't stand bullshit, right? Like her saying, that's factually incorrect, that's problematic. Again, I'm going to have to stop you as that is factually not correct. I'm like, no, I don't think you're going to stop me because I am speaking truth to power. You are trying to censor me. You're just the same way you're trying to censor everybody that sees this happening. This is exactly why Israel has gone down in popularity. People have more sympathy with Palestinians than they do with Israel because you can't actually talk about the facts. And then when I do try to talk about the facts, you lie and you cut the interview short. This is why I'm not running for office. Clip that. And then I had a point on this one I was going to say. So this is in response to the Luigi Mangione guilty plea, I guess it was.
And to those who idolize Luigi Mangione, I say this. Violence is not a cause. Murder is not a message. And a killer is certainly not a hero. Now I'd like to introduce the FBI's Assistant Director in Charge for the New York Field Office, Jim Varnicle.
Jesus, she really does have like a Wallet and Gromit face going. My God. It really is Wallace and Gromit. Okay, no one's posting the GIF. Anyway, but this is, they want to say violence is not a cause, murder is not a message, and a killer is certainly not a hero. Then why are you lionizing the victim, Brian Sicknick, who murdered tens of thousands of Americans as the CEO of United Healthcare? This person never lifted a fucking finger The New York police never arrested these healthcare CEOs. They never fucking went in and arrested the healthcare executives at United Healthcare. Despite United Healthcare was intentionally going in, getting doctors to write DNR on patients that cost them money without their consent. Your mom, your brother, your sister, your child, your grandmother, your neighbor, your coworker, your best friend would have been murdered by United Healthcare simply because they wanted to save $1. And no one in the police force charged them with murder. This is why people said Luigi is a hero. And not that he is, because I do agree with this. Violence is not a cause. Murder is not a message, and a killer is certainly not a hero. And that is why we should jail every single health insurance executive complicit in these kinds of crimes. The reason Luigi Mangione is lauded as a hero is because people like Jessica Tisch have done absolutely fucking nothing to hold the healthcare executives accountable that murder us and put us in bankruptcy every single day. Oh, also, by the way, she's a Zionist that marched with literal terrorists in the New York parade for Israel. So there's that. Fucking Wallace and Gromit looking bitch. Clip that. This is something that always gets my goat. So the Democrats always tried to be like, oh, but I have to have a cabinet of both sides. I have to have Republicans in my cabinet. When has a Republican ever had a fucking Democrat? I think Trump had like one, and it wasn't even an actual Democrat. It's just a fucking poser. I think that was the Trump pedo regime 1.0, right? But why do you do this? Why would you do this? And it's not just someone who's going to be like, it's not an advisor. Like, I could understand an advisor, right? Because you want someone that worked on their campaign, give some insight. You know, what is happening inside their campaign? What do they think their weaknesses are? What do they think our weaknesses are? What are our strengths? What are their strengths? Where can we hit them, right? Where is their ground game? How can we beat those locations? That I can understand, but from the sound of it, they're hiring this person as a fucking legislative person, which means this is just going to be more boiled down status quo bullshit legislation, right? And I really do like the way Tallarico has gone so far, but this is the kind of tacking to the center that drives me fucking insane. Honestly, this is a fact. It's not the factor, but it is a factor in what cost Kamala Harris the election, because her campaigning with a literal torture war criminal like Liz Cheney put people off. It grossed them out. And you factor that in with Kamala going soft on CEOs and not wanting to take on crony capitalism and of course not wanting to end the genocide. You just get a perfect fucking alchemical mix of disaster and an election loss. No fucking wonder. So here we do again. Hoping to reach out to Republicans in reliably red Texas. It's going to get no one. It's going to get no one. This does not work. You need to fucking stand up for your values, for your shit. Keep saying how Ken Paxton is a pedophile. It helped get a pedophile free from jail. Help that. Start there, maybe. I hate this shit from Democrats every time. Oh, speaking of pedophiles, Rolled Turtle 6643 says, LOL, one viewer, Lamau. This is what he thinks my reaction would be.
There were 3 people right there.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
And there were...
That's what that pedophile Rolled Turtle 6643 thinks was going to happen. Dude, nobody gives a shit, Rolled Turtle. You're a fucking child rapist. You voted for a child rapist that is now putting your economy in the shitter. You're more mad at me when your pedophile molester-in-chief is the one raising your gas. You fucking idiot. Jesus. You guys truly are sheep. You really are. You're just fucking cattle, man. And Dim Dark Sheik, I muted you because you wouldn't answer my fucking question. I told you to answer my question, and you didn't. So now you're just banned. I'm so sick of this. Fucking stupid-ass people in my chats, man. There, fuck off, dude. Just the dumbest fucking people on the internet always find my goddamn chat. Oh, thank you, Levi, for saying that. I appreciate it. So this is what
20th of 2029.
Nazi Bannon has to say. We're looking on 5 or 6 different alternatives for how Trump could run again for president. Keep in mind, Trump is a pedophile. So he's saying this fully know well that Trump is a pedophile, so that also makes Steve Bannon by default a pedophile, because only pedophiles defend other pedophiles. And on that note, he is also violating the Constitution, because it is illegal for Trump to run again for a 3rd term. We have gone through this with FDR. We're working on 5 or 6 different alternatives for how Trump could run again and be president. I continue to say, oh, well, why is the video not loading now?
They haven't said we're going to amend the Constitution. We're working on 5 or 6 different alternatives that President Trump could run again and be president. And quite frankly, I think 4 or 5 of them are going to work. And I continue to say, as I told Bill Maher, on the afternoon of January 20th of 2029, Donald Trump's going to be president for his 3rd term.
He's such a fucking creep. So I just want to be clear here. While the pedophile Republicans, the MAGA pedo party like Steve Bannon, are literally out here trying to rewrite the Constitution, make up their own rules for elections, put actual Gestapo terrorists that traffic children, like what ICE does, in polling places, the Democrats are like, oh, but how will we afford Medicare for all? How will we do it? Bruh, are you not seeing what's fucking happening? Like, being wimpy and weak on these issues gets you nothing. And honestly, this is why Republicans will stand by this kind of shit, because at least it's a strong stance. They're pushing for something. They're doing something. They're owning the libs. That's the way they see it. The closest thing we ever had to that was, unfortunately, Gavin Mannequin Newsom, who, when they were doing the MAGA pedo party was doing the bounty thing for trans people, was it? I think it was. So he's saying, fine, let's have a bounty system for people that have too much ammunition or something like that. Something to that effect. Something Second Amendment related. And yeah, that's okay, cool. We're getting let's go tit for tat. But we couldn't even get Merrick fucking Garland to appoint a special counsel to investigate these guys for not only for the January 6th terrorist attack. We couldn't even get them to investigate Trump for anything in the Epstein files. They sat on the Epstein files and let that stupid shit play out with Ghislaine Maxwell. And then, when it did play out with Ghislaine Maxwell and she was sentenced, they did fuck all with the rest of the Epstein files. It's fucking stupid. We can never get Democrats to do anything, which is why, again, people like this fuck nugget, we can't have them. We don't have time for this shit. Either get on our side, get out the way, and we're lining you up at Nuremberg with the rest of these pedophiles. That's what we need to do. We need to start having consequences for the Democrats who betray their country and just sit around saying oh, but a Muslim might be in the Senate in Michigan. We just can't have that. While people like this are literally having concentration camps where children are being fucking raped. Do you understand that? There are concentration camps that the ICE Nazis are running, and these children are getting raped and getting pregnant. And again, meanwhile, Democrats are like, oh, but should we have a special election in Kentucky? Because what if we lose? At least you fucking tried. If a special election in Kentucky was so fucking a given for Republicans, why the fuck are they hiding Mitch McConnell's death? If Mitch McConnell was alive, right, they would be able to give proof of life, but they can't because he's dead. He's a fucking turtle corpse. He's on his shell. His wife is currently skinning his shell from him for money to pawn off on fucking eBay. And the Democrats, like Andy Bashar, won't do anything about it. Meanwhile, they do this. Why do Democrats always do nothing while Republicans do everything? I'm fucking sick of it. Fucking sick of it. Like this kind of shit.
We will file charges if you're filming.
So what happened was, ICE raid called into a warehouse. Company locks doors so workers are trapped. We are being held hostage. Woman says security even hit us when we tried to leave. Video shows guard physically blocking the door, pushing employees away trying to leave. Some managers try to escape past him. Some managed to escape past him, but then reinforcements arrived and the doors were locked. Company manager is even heard telling workers they will file charges against anyone filming what happened. Whoever phoned the company warning of an ICE raid was apparently a hoax, but employees were still not allowed to leave until police arrived and told the company it was against the law to hold them against their will. Incident occurred at Quetico Logistics main warehouse in Goodyear, Arizona. Woman filming doesn't have an account on this platform, so posting first full-length two-part.
Look, here where I work, they said you were coming. They had us held hostage. They didn't want to open the door until the police arrived and said they couldn't keep anyone. And here we are waiting because everything, thank God, everyone who couldn't be there managed to escape because they even hit people.
They're literally wearing a "I heart my job" while they're trying to flee, and their bosses are trying to are literally kidnapping them for an ICE terrorist Gestapo force.
Look at him here. This is a busy packing warehouse, and look at all the people we are here with today. See that man over there? That is the security guard. He is supposedly Cuban, but he stopped everyone and even started hitting people. It's a raid that is going to happen here it's in Goodyear, Arizona.
So this is also the kind of shit that I'm sick of Democrats. What's her name? Katie Hobbs is not going to have any investigation of this, right? There's not going to be any charges against the Nazi cops or excuse me, not the cops, the securities who blocked them in. No investigation of the managers. No investigation of the CEOs who authorized this. It just fuck, dude. It just sometimes it gets so fucking hopeless. We're dealing with these Dems because they don't do anything. Do nothing, Democrats. They do fucking nothing. Katie Hobbs is a Democrat. Isn't the Attorney General for Arizona a Democrat too? Yeah, Chris Mays is a Democrat as well. And they won't do anything about this. Like, if you've ever the reason fascism is allowed to flourish is because there are no consequences. I said this last stream. As long as there's no consequences, fascism is going to continue to rise in America. We need to start. There needs to be a price. And that needs to be jail. Straight to jail. Right to jail. Trump's U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago has spent the past year investigating a Dem fundraising firm once co-owned by the daughter of the judge in Trump's hush money trial. The office demanded the firm's internal comms with clients, including Harris, Biden, Jeffries, and Hochul. Keep in mind, these people are the centrists that are doing fucking nothing. That did fucking nothing. This is a complete violation of their rights. It is a complete intrusion and a violation of multiple amendments, the 4th and 5th at least. And meanwhile, we can't even get an investigation to the pigs. I'm sorry, not the pigs. The security guard, who's apparently Cuban, they said. Where is he? Who not only participated in kidnapping these employees, but also physically, violently struck them, as did the others. And the manager threatening, retaliating with saying that we'll file charges if they're filming. We're fucking Weimar Democrats. We're so fucked. And again, here we go again. 9/24/25, Trump was considering firing both AG Bondi and DAG Blanche for not indicting his enemies. Called them into a meeting. Had running list of people he wanted charged, including Judge Juan Merchan and his daughter. ACLU got a text chain in which Border Patrol agents were out prowling Los Angeles looking for Latinos to harass on the 4th of July. The agent says Tonks everywhere selling food for the 4th festivities in Long Beach right now. Tonks is CBP's own unique slur for Hispanics. And we can't even get Andy fucking Bashar to do a special election. Kentucky Governor Andy Bashar says that he hasn't heard back from Senator Mitch McConnell following a formal request for updates on his health amid a weeks-long hospitalization that prompted widespread speculation and concern. I've heard absolutely nothing back from Mitch McConnell. Do nothing, Democrats, in the face of shit like this. This is a really heinous story. Officers typed in the wrong license plate number, arrested the wrong person for stealing a car, charged him anyway. Victim ends up dying by suicide. SFPD brutally arrested the wrong man, Brooke Jenkins. The San Francisco District Attorney prosecuted said wrong man for a year. He lost nearly everything he owned thanks to the police impoundment of his car and took his own life. San Francisco's vaunted tough on crime, political turn in action. Again, this is why people loved Luigi Mangione. Because there was no justice. There was no justice for what was happening with the murders by United Healthcare. There was no justice that was happening. So then Luigi took it into his own hand and became a fucking Robin Hood, became a folk hero, right? Took the law into his own hands. That is what American pop culture loves. And the Democrats won't even use their own laws to protect their own voters. Every single time, their own people. The Democrats won't even defend themselves. If they won't even defend themselves, how the fuck are they going to defend us? 2 San Francisco cops typed the lie. Oh, I already covered this one. And meanwhile, they're enriching themselves. World Liberty Financial, the Trump's family's flagship crypto venture, says its trust company has received preliminary approval from the Office of Comptroller of the Currency to become a bank. They are making sure they are rich beyond their wildest dreams long after Trump departs the White House, if he departs the White House. It's so openly and nakedly and obviously corrupt, I'm not sure it can be overstated. And Democrats won't do anything about this either. If they get in power, I truly don't think they would investigate it. I really don't. And I shit you not. Since crypto is difficult to trace, it's the primary preferable currency to money launderers, drug dealers, terrorists, and of course, pedo cabals like Andrew Tate, like Trump Epstein. I shit you not. This is going to be how the Trump regime funds their pedo cabal if or when they get out of office. The Trump and Witkoff families are opening a bank in Florida. The investors in this bank are undisclosed. It will not have to follow FTC rules. I smell a money laundering opportunity. As I said, it's money laundering for terrorism, for pedophilia, and for the Trump Epstein pedo cabal. That's all it is. And this is what Trump brings into his party. 2 felons pardoned by President Trump are running for Congress in the same Florida primary. One is a January 6th terrorist. The other was convicted for insider trading. President Trump says vandals are to blame for large swaths of dead grass in the National Mall near World War II Memorial, in the spot where he had built a stage and hosted crowds for his July 4th celebration. How many people are going to be smeared and arrested to shift blame from the fact Trump has plainly wrecked our public property? This is so ugly. We saw that happen with the Olympic person who was arrested for putting a 350-foot gash in the reflecting pool. It was all a lie. And the Democrats will do nothing. The do-nothing Democrats strike again! No one suspects the do-nothing Democrats! Now, we'll be over here in the corner while you guys figure everything out. And Jesus, right on cue. Exclusive. New York Dem Governor Kathy Hochul's administration quietly greenlit Elon Musk's move to create his own banking system inside X, according to documents reviewed by Lever News. Hochul aides ignored warnings from Dem lawmakers, including New York Dem congressional nominee Mika Lasher. Elon Musk, the pedophile who begged Jeffrey Epstein to go to the island on Christmas fucking Day at like 6 in the morning, begging Jeffrey Epstein. And Governor Kathy Hochul is like, sure, I'll let you make your own I'll let you do your own banking system. Sure. I'm sure you have totally legitimate purposes for that by spending $250 million to elect a Nazi pedophile. I'm sure there's nothing nefarious here. Do nothing, Democrats. Strike again. Meanwhile, while the Democrats do nothing, the Republican pedo party does this.
Relentless pursuers of justice. We are going to safeguard our communities. We are going to save our kids. And thanks to President Trump's brilliant leadership, the American dream is not a dream anymore. It is a reality. I'm living it. We're living it together. Thank you, Nassau County. Thank you, Strong Island. Thank you, relentless pursuers of justice.
This was a thing that you were not supposed to do back in the day. A political rally. Well, first of all, a political rally with the FBI director who can barely see over the fucking podium, and then backed by the blue, right? This is totally frowned upon. Republicans are doing it. This is how fascism gets going. So we have a partisan political police in the middle of a workday attending a political rally in uniform. Looks like Nuremberg in 1936. I have been saying that we are less likely to have a coup in this country by the military or like a civil war by a militia force. We are more likely to have a civil war sparked by a rogue police force. That is far more likely going to be the thing that sets it off. And this is exactly how we're going to get there.
No more. And we've essentially killed DEI. Isn't that nice? No more DEI.
Bye, Levi. Thanks for joining.
I don't see the people behind me big on DEI. Were you big on DEI, anybody?
So just a bunch of white folk.
That's not a DEI group, I can tell.
Oh, we can tell, too, because they're probably really shitty at their jobs.
It never was, by the way. So, ladies, no more. This. So
doing
For you to
his
pay a
suck off
tiny
the
little
microphone
bit more
routine.
for your gasoline, just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have a country. Really, it's the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have a nuclear weapon. So remember that when you have to pay a little bit more, you're at $4. It's okay. I mean, it's I'm not. I'll never apologize. I did the right thing. But you could, you know, if you didn't have
The fucking trained seals.
this.
The lambs just marching to the slaughter. It's exactly. I'm telling you, if there is ever a civil war, it's going to be led by the police pigs. That's what's going to fucking happen. And again, this won't get nearly the. I don't care. I don't care that you have to pay more in gas. I don't have to pay more in gas. I don't have to pay in gas. I don't have to pump my own gas. I can go everywhere in Marine Force One. I can look down on all you peasants. I can even spit on you. I did that. I did that one time. We landed right next to him. He came up to me with tears, and I said, "Sir, thank you for spitting on me. It's the honor of my lifetime to have your saliva smack me in the eyeball." It was brilliant. And the Democrats still do nothing. They do nothing. While this pedophile is up here literally bragging about raping children.
No, these young, beautiful girls, these young, beautiful girls in the White House, you know, they come in. Now, I'm not supposed to say beautiful, but what the hell?
Oh, my God, dude.
These young, these gorgeous, beautiful girls, they want to be safe, and they come, Mr. President, may I speak to you? Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I
Oh,
said,
my
why
God.
are you thanking me? Because a year and a half ago, I was afraid to leave. I was afraid to open the door of my apartment. And now I walk to the White House every morning, and I have absolutely no fear. Thank you,
Such
sir.
bullshit. And again, no coverage. No coverage of this. No critical coverage of that or
Doing
this.
a great job. Our military is unbelievable. The blockade is unstoppable. It's a wall of steel.
The blockade is unstoppable.
The blockade is a wall of steel. But
It's a wall of steel. It's on a fucking waterfront, you fucking child rapist. Oh my God. They're so stupid.
policies of Hochul and the Democrat colleagues, like
they're so
crooked-
fucking
she's
dumb.
the worst. Is she the worst? Crooked Attorney General Letitia James.
They're so fucking dumb, dude.
She is the most dishonest, a real slob, a real slob.
And Letitia James was like wasn't she was it the New York AG or the I can't remember if she was New York AG or not. Wait a minute. Where's that Wallace and Gromit bitch? Where'd she go? Oh, Jessica Tisch. Okay, no, Letitia James. Okay, whatever. Let's keep going.
You know, they had her. She got off on a technicality. They had her. But she got off on a technicality.
That's
but
also not true.
Let's see what happens.
You're going to be shocked to know that that's 100% not true. It was not a technicality.
You remember when she was...
I don't even know if that's a fact. I'm just going to say it since Trump said it's probably a lie. So what was, let's see. James acquitted. She wasn't even indicted. He couldn't even, the saying is you couldn't even indict a ham sandwich. You could get a prosecutor to indict a ham sandwich. Meanwhile, they couldn't even indict Letitia James. The case was so good. It was so good. It was so good. The people who hear only our side of the story and nothing from the defense, even they thought I was full of shit.
Campaigning and we will stop Donald Trump. She's not supposed to say that. She's the attorney general. We will stop. She didn't know anything about me.
See, honestly, I want to see more of that. Like, if Letitia James does that and if other Democrats just campaign simply on jailing Trump and Elon Musk, I am fucking all in. You know? As long as they're not, that Democrat isn't also in the Epstein files or a fucking Swalwell rapist or whatever. If they had a DUI in their college days or they did fucking coke, I don't give a fuck about that kind of shit. As long as they're not shooting their dog like Kristi Noem did, but they're in favor of Elon Musk and Trump going to jail, and that's what they run on, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm going to get such a fucking boner, I will come money straight to their campaign donations. That's what's going to fucking, I'm just going to be coming quarters. Just jizzing out quarters. And then when I get dehydrated, it'll start turning to dollar bills. That's what's I'm gonna just fucking send, and I'm sending all of it to their campaign donations.
But she campaigned on "We will stop Donald Trump." Well, I think I'm hearing. Am I here as president? Yeah. She's. By the way, Letitia James is a disgrace to law, order, law enforcement. She's a disgrace. She's a dishonest person, very dishonest, very crooked person. Remember, I used to say that about James Comey. I was right. These are dishonest. These are dirty cops. You know the expression? You got dirty cops, too. Letitia James is essentially a dirty cop. And you have a person running.
And the do-nothing Democrats don't give a fuck about this. They do absolutely nothing in response to it. Both sides suck. All Zionist demons. Erica Haggins, 5619. Yeah, Eric Haggins, 5619. You know that there's more anti-Zionists on the left than the right, right? And the people generally, by and large, who are anti-Zionist on the right are actual Nazis. That's why they're anti-Zionists. You're familiar with that part, right? Just want to be clear.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember you're doing.
Why did he almost go like Mad Max with it? For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline. We got to get the gasoline. We have to get the gasoline.
Doing it so that a very evil country cannot have. A country, really, it's the number one.
Both sides suck, compromised. I mean, again, you need to be a little bit more specific in that because there are people on the left that are actually fighting for the good fight. There's Abdul Sayed. There's Zoran Mamdani, just to name a few. Meanwhile, every single Republican is literally a reject from the drawing board of the fucking League of Doom from DC. So I think you're a little. I think you're not seeing the forest through the trees here, my friend.
One state sponsor of terror in the world.
I already did this clip. Damn it. Cops in uniform are laughing and clapping to cops being called dirty and the New York AG being called a slob. Totally normal times in America. And again, the do-nothing Democrats do fucking nothing about this. So, Eric Taggins, to your point, I will agree with you on that. This is where both sides suck. Because, Eric, you missed this earlier, but like, where's that thing? No. I mean, where is it? Fuck, I can't find it. Well, oh, yeah, this is... Oh, wait, it was the Steve Bannon clip. Where is he? There he is. Like, they're literally trying to decide how best to violate the Constitution, and meanwhile, the Democrats are doing fuck all. Oh, I'm sorry, they're too busy pillorying Hassan Piker. That's right. No wonder! No wonder they can't fight back against rhetoric like this. Hassan Piker is the real problem.
And which is being very badly defeated. Pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
It's just
essentially that's what it is. We have the blockade.
I mean,
no ships get through unless we want them to. But and how about Venezuela? Venezuela was a one-day war, and now
it's just the ranting of a kid with a coloring book and being, when I grow up, I'm gonna be Superman, and I'm gonna have a cape, and I'm gonna have a happy family, and I'm gonna have lots of money, and I'm gonna live in the White House, and everything will be named after me. That's what's going to happen. That's literally what he's sounding like right now. And then real-life Trump would just come in and rape that child because Trump is a pedophile. He absolutely needs to be impeached, removed, and locked up. He's a completely unhinged lunatic, and he's a sadistic, violent menace to the world. Too fucking right. I think I'm following this guy now, right? Yeah, I'm following him. So if you're not following Kyle Kulinski, very good one to follow. And he's got his rubes believing this kind of shit. Listen to this.
We will pass the great health care plan to stop all payments to big insurance companies. We'll give, you have to understand, the insurance companies are totally controlled, 100%. They're totally controlled by the Democrats.
What?
They give the money directly to the people. They give billions and billions of dollars.
It's literally the exact opposite. The insurance companies control the Democrats. But they also control Republicans, too, because they take the same goddamn donations. Oh, my God.
By the Democrats and give the money directly to the people. They give billions and billions of dollars to insurance companies. We're giving them directly to the people. You go out, you buy your own health insurance, and you have money left over. You end up with better health insurance.
I mean, this is just Iran deal number 65 or whatever fucking version we're at right now. This is the same thing. You'll have your health care. We'll have the plan in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks goes by and then nothing. It's like talking to my fucking union rep.
So you're going to get better health insurance.
And they believe it. Republicans are cattle. They're just fucking cattle. Absolute sheep. That's all it is. It's insane. And then, again, Merrick Garland wouldn't even appoint a special counsel. Meanwhile, Todd Blanche is saying this shit.
It's great. So I, like Director Patel, also called Nassau County my home for 2 decades. So it's great to be.
We couldn't even get James fucking Comey to release the Trump-Russia treason report. And these motherfuckers are just out here doing just absolutely gargling Trump's balls.
Back in this great island, in this great county. I want to thank the Nassau County Police Department for hosting us today in this phenomenal facility. And thank you. We just heard from our great Nassau County Executive, Bruce Blakeman, who is doing everything we need him to do to back the blue, to support law enforcement, and to make this county.
Unless you're a January 6th terrorist and beat the shit out of some police and then get them killed the next day. Right. Okay.
And to
terms and conditions apply.
make this county a safe county that we can all raise our kids in. Since the
Of course he would bring up kids. Yeah. You wouldn't want someone in, 2 of the most notorious pedo cabals to be living in your neighborhood or running policy for your neighborhood. You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that. No, you wouldn't, folks.
So I have my own plan for healthcare. It's called the Waters Plan. Number 1, the Somali pirates, they stopped stealing our booty. Number 2.
What? Somali pirates? What? The fuck is this man talking about? Did all that fucking eyelash oil go into his brain and he's just spouting shit? Is he high? What the fuck?
You slash immigration, that's just a supply and demand issue.
Yeah, obviously that's what's happened. All those immigrants that are gone, that's why everybody has less health care now. Brilliant, Jesse. Brilliant.
No
God,
more
he's so
doctors
fucking
getting
stupid.
kickbacks from the pharmaceutical companies to prescribe drugs.
See, the crazy thing, that's actually a good policy. Now, he would never actually follow it. He would never actually advocate for it. If Democrats were to push for that, he would immediately be against it. But that is actually a good policy because these people don't stand for fucking anything. They don't believe in anything. They're just chirping, just yapping for their fucking dumbass, inbred, sheep-brained audience.
And how about get a job? Because most companies provide health care. If you're 30 and went to grad school and are an Ethiopian.
Yeah, guys, get a job. Get a job. In this economy, you can get a job. There's jobs at the lovely lemonade stand on the corner. There's a lemonade stand outside. Just be a paper boy. You can do it. There's jobs everywhere. You can also work under the table for me by staying under the table, if you know what I mean. How old are you? That's Jesse Waters and the entire Trump Republican pedo party.
Barista, like your friend in Colorado, yeah, she doesn't have health insurance because she doesn't work. Also, MAHA, ever heard of it? Make America Healthy Again. It's called Eat Right and Exercise. Maybe try that.
All right, he's so obnoxious I can't finish this, but yeah, MAHA, eat right and exercise. Oh, shit. Eat right, guys. Walmart has recalled 3,240 tomato soup kits over possible Listeria contamination. Yeah. Eat healthy, guys. Fucking A. So this is about the Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, what else do I have to say? Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now.
His hair is, he's got one hell of a flyaway there.
It's being replaced with
his
another
wig is falling apart.
ship. No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
My favorite thing about Republicans is how they can just go out there and be like, we have our servicemen, we are pushing them to the extremes, and frankly, it's not been extreme enough. They need to be punished. They need to be punished further. We're making sure they eat only their fingernails, that's all. They're having a diet of just fingernails. Nothing else, no fingernails. And also, they have to shit overboard. In bad weather, they're going to poop overboard, and if they fall overboard, well, that's just what happens. And meanwhile, military families that vote MAGA will just be like, marry me, daddy. Just total fucking sheep-brained. A man whose entire dating strategy was letting down a woman's tires. He misspelled tires, first of all. But also, he didn't really date women. He just raped them in between, all the children that he raped with Epstein. And this is, oh my God. I mean, I'll say this, at least the water's clean. I'm sorry. That's the first thing that came up. I don't know if it's going to stay clean long, but, the shotgun spray of shit. Oh my God. More pictures from aboard the moldy old USS George Washington, which recently underwent an incredibly expensive, complex overhaul that took 6 years to finish. What? Our Navy is like this because we only have one shipyard capable of refueling and repairing a nuclear aircraft carrier. So it went over an entire overhaul just to look like this after the fact? What the? Oh my God, the fucking handles have come off. That's like a safety thing. What is all this shit? It's not supposed to look like that, right? It's not supposed to look like that, right? That's insane to listen to. Oh, we have a Trigger Mega Pedophile. Denise Farmer 366 says, this host is spewing shit. Yeah, great job, buddy. Do you think your comment does anything when you support a pedophile? Like, you're in here more pissed at me for literally just quoting your failure in chief, and yet he's the one raping children. The fact that you're more upset over me and not him raping children is exactly why we're going to find every single one of you pedophiles and lock you up. Lock them up! Lock them up! Lock them up! Jesse Water, he let down a woman's tires to get into... Oh, I see. So you're delayed, Devious. You're on a delayed portion of the stream. He let down a woman's tires to get into his car. I'm not American, so tires are for cars, and tires is what U.S. politics does to us. That's good, Devious. That's good. So, anybody watching that can't see the chat here, he said, so tires, T-Y-R-E-S, are for, because he's not in America, are for cars, and tires, T-I-R-E-S, is what U.S. politics does to us. That's fucking good. And I did forget about that, about Jesse Waters. God, they're all just creeps, freaks, losers, pedophiles, and rapists. Never leave your drink on alone attended in a room with these freaks, Meanwhile, Democrats disagree over abolishing or reforming ICE at DNC meeting. Ha ha! We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Oh my God. Then normie Democrats wonder why progressives call them out on their bullshit. They don't want Medicare for all, and now they don't want to abolish ICE. Might as well just join the Republicans if you aren't going to fight for anything. Holy shit! And that's why people sit out elections. That's why. Meanwhile, as Trump publicly condemned Colorado for incarcerating convicted felon and election denier Tina Peters, the White House organized an urgent brainstorm call for 5 federal agencies with the goal of exploring ways to curtail federal support to Colorado. So they can literally illegally use the budget to punish people who act against Trump. Meanwhile, Democrats won't even abolish a Nazi Gestapo force that is now the long arm of the pedo-Trump cabal. This timeline is fucking insane. And then to get it more insane, this story was insane to read. A city in Kansas is suing residents who tried to ban data centers. Edgerton, Kansas, I love that it's called Edgerton, by the way, is suing multiple women and an organization in an effort to void a citizen petition that would have banned AI data centers. Enough signatures were collected. County legal department reviewed the petition and determined that it generally conformed to state requirements, and the city received a copy of the petition. But instead of sending the measure to voters, the city council voted to authorize the filing of lawsuit to challenge the petition's validity. Again, like the establishment will use the levers of power to fuck over their own constituents, their own voters who follow the path. Like I said, this is where you get this is the kind of shit that breeds vigilante justice. right? When people follow the law, when they go through the system and they do everything right and they succeed, and then the establishment, breaks the law to fuck with what the people want, what a surprise. What a surprise. You get people that then say, fuck the law, I'm going to do what I want. What a fucking surprise. I can't believe that a system built that way would get so many bad people doing bad things. Meanwhile, the man, the legend 7048, you are a pedophile. Run that track back.
Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is.
The man, the legend 7048, you're a child rapist.
On the Epstein list. Yes,
you fuck children. You fuck children, and we will arrest you, and we will have every single punishment on the table. Since you guys are fine with violating the Constitution, hey, maybe we'll just do away with that whole thing about, like, no excessive punishments or tortures just for you pedophiles. Maybe we will. We don't know. Maybe we will. We look forward to seeing your mugshot, the man, the legend 7048, because it will be everywhere. You will have no safe space. You will never, ever be able to walk out in public feeling safe again. And I love that for you, you ugly child-raping fuck. Anyway, there's multiple stories like this, by the way. I feel betrayed. Staff Sergeant Alexis Jaramillo has spent 11 years serving the United States Army. However, the Puerto Rican-born aviation specialist said the country isn't standing behind his family after ICE detained his wife. Yeah, but who did you vote for? I mean, you kind of brought this upon yourself if you did, but it's actually not clear who this guy voted for. However, he voted for Trump 3 times. Then ICE came for his wife, who had entered legally, sought asylum under the process. Even Trump used to say was the right way and was months away from a green card. Now he says he's living in fear in my own country. I'm not joking when I say this. I wish him nothing but pain. Like, this is the reality for so many people before he cast his dumbass vote for a Nazi orange pedophile, right? And he knew it. Trump was saying, they were saying mass deportations now, right? That's what their fucking sign said. And that guy's like, mass deportations now, but not my wife. Mass deportations now, but leave my wife alone. And now he got in power, and lo and behold, this is the result. Like, what did you expect? Oh my God, the Leopards Eating Faces party has never ate this fucking good. It has never ate this fucking good, my guy. So this was thing that I had to see because I guess Tim Pool, the stupid-ass pedophile supporter that probably the man, the legend 7048 loves because, you know, he's stupid like that guy. I guess he stormed out of a debate. I want to see this.
My next surrounded claim is that the United States is tracking towards a civil war.
There's 42 of your titles that have the word civil war.
Oh, shit. I just saw his hand. Holy shit. They vote for harms to others, but the moment those harms hit them, it is betrayal. Yeah, that's exactly. That is the MAGA ideology because everything that they do is based on selfishness. Like I said, these are the last fucking people you would ever want to be stranded on a desert island with, or in any kind of a major. Imagine being stuck on a subway, right? Like it's an earthquake, and you're stuck in the subway. I swear to God, the first people to turn to cannibalism would be all the MAGA people on that train. And then, when they turn to cannibalism, and they've eaten all the other people that are against cannibalism, they would then eat themselves. That's how selfish the Republican pedophile party is. You lefties better hope there's no civil war. Steve Vukash Jr., 7258, you are a pedophile, and you are exactly why I have multiple guns. Because I want you to know that the next time, I keep track of all you pedophiles that come in my chat, right? Because then Antifa tracks you, right? We get your IP. We get your search history. That's the most important thing. We don't send your search history full of pedophilia and trans porn. We don't send that to the authorities yet. The trans porn doesn't matter. But you raping children matters. So we make sure that we keep all of that locked up so that then when you pedophiles pop your ugly-ass fucking heads out of your mother's basement, we got you. We got you. We jail you, and hey, like I said, maybe we just do away with that whole excessive punishments thing. We don't know. See, you pedophiles want to come in here and make death threats to me, and you think that I'm not out there ready for you? You think I don't have guns? You think I don't have cameras? You don't think I have a security system? You don't think that I have an entire team tracking you fuckers online and everything that you do? You have no idea what's coming. And frankly, you MAGA pedophiles are the ones that should not hope for a civil war, because you fucking losers are not even man enough to tell an orange Nazi pedophile to stop raising your gas. What the fuck do you think you're going to do when Antifa shows up at your door with a 12 gauge in your fucking face? You guys have fucking nothing. Eric Haggins, the Adma J, what is that? I don't know what that means. Charge them with treason. That's the goal. That's the goal. MAGA are too poor to lead a civil war. You'd also cry that your rations weren't crafted by MAGA. Yeah. RFK Jr. didn't make this ration. I can't leave my mama's basement to fight in the Civil War now. It's exactly what would happen, Devious. Oh, did I play this already? I think I did. No, I didn't. By the way, Steve VUKASJR7258. I got your profile here. And remember, you're a pedophile. We're coming for you. Also,
Their arms, yeah, that shit ain't right. Cold cells, concrete floors, no blanket in sight. Whole families erased, buried deep from the light. This ain't security, this shit is pure terror. Government crimes masked up, is error. Cages full of brown skin, racist agenda clearer. They profit off pain, system couldn't be nearer. I'm spitting for the voiceless, every name on that list. For the fathers deported, for the mothers dismissed. Fuck guys.
it's always funny when these MAGA pedophiles like Steve come into my chat, because like look at this fucking loser. Let's see. Let me see his profile. So first of all, he doesn't even have a real profile picture, or he's an actual pedophile because it's a picture of a child. Joined September 17, 2012, two videos, 29 views. The Resistance gets shut down in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 6/21/17. Trump in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Oh, yeah, this dude is an actual pedophile. Yeah, 100%. This guy is 100% a pedophile. Stay with me. I'm going to show you why. I'll come back to this Tim Pool clip. Alleged child molester Mike Caruso had previously voted to give the death penalty to child sex offenders, and yet Ron DeSantis ally Mike Caruso has just been arrested on child sex abuse charges. The alleged victim was a boy younger than 5 whom Mike molested multiple times last year. Steve is 100% a pedophile. 100%. Ron DeSantis ally in Palm Beach arrested on child sex abuse charges. I already did that one. Republican official pleads guilty to child sexual exploitation and possession of child pornography. He now faces up to 30 years in jail. Republican legislator R.J. May sentenced to 17 years in jail on child porn charges. He previously claimed trans health care claimed harms children. Republican official Daniel Braun, oh man, a literal troll out of Lord of the Rings, has been arrested after attempting to solicit a minor online. He was having a sexually explicit conversation with an undercover agent who he thought was a 14-year-old. Every day, I have like 5 of these stories. And every day, pedophiles like Steve VUKAS Jr. 7258 and pedophiles like the man, the legend 7048, every day they come in here and they say the same shit as these pedophiles. That's why I truly believe every Republican is guilty of pedophilia. They may not be the ones fucking the kids. They may be only the ones having the CSAM on their computers, but they also, at a minimum, are the ones creating the pedophile environment. And I guarantee you, pedophiles like these MAGA in my chat are never, ever, ever going to rat on their friends and family when they find out that one of them is a pedophile. That is why they are complicit. And I absolutely believe every Republican that supports Trump is a pedophile. Because every day, there is a new one of these motherfuckers every single day. Now, back to Tim Pool getting owned.
In it
Correct.
with big fonts on the front.
They sure do.
So why is that? It's sensationalist. It's easy to get clicks on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not necessarily.
But there's
We have
there comes a point-
1,600
Tim Pool,
episodes
Tim
of
Pool,
just
Tim
IRL.
Pool. There comes a point where people stop taking your predictions seriously.
Are you going to make an
If you
argument,
said-
or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. I'm
Okay,
trying to
then let's make an
explain.
argument about whether
I'm
or not
trying.
we are tracking.
Can
No.
you relax?
If you're making
The
an
point-
argument you
no,
don't
Tim.
like my thumbnails, or you try to say my name over and over
I'm
again.
saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what
Let me
I
ask
really
you.
think
Let
is,
me ask you.
Here's the thing, is I actually do agree with Tim on this. I think we are tracking towards a civil war. It's getting worse and worse. We now have a fascist, and we have a completely incompetent opposition party with a more and more radicalized law enforcement base that sees average civilians as enemies as enemy combatants rather than citizens whom they serve and protect. I actually agree with him on this. So I'm like, if it was me in that chair, I would be saying, yes, I agree with you. I think we are heading towards a civil war because of you. Maybe that's where he's going with this. Maybe he's saying, like, you're putting all these thumbnails out there. You are inflaming the base. You are inflaming your voters. You are driving them to a radicalization, which is why 2/3 and also 3/4 of domestic terrorists and mass shootings in the country are done by Republicans. So maybe I cut this guy off too early. I want to see
the predictions.
Let me
Hold
ask
on.
you. Let me ask you a
Tim,
question you can't
I will
answer.
agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask.
There's
I
a
don't
lot
disagree.
less interaction with people that are in different camps.
Let me. You defer.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you
a
a
civil
question.
war every fucking year and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're gonna
never
say
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
Or
question.
if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let me
along.
ask you a
You
question.
are the same thing as
Let-
like the
let me
Christian rapture
ask you
people
a
who say
question.
that the rapture's coming every fucking year.
Are
and
you-
when it doesn't happen,
do
it's
you want a
like, oh, it's just not
soapbox?
happening.
Do you want me to get you a
I'm just saying,
soapbox?
it's really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to
It's
go?
really easy to
You want me to
do
leave?
what you do.
You want me to
It's
leave?
really easy to do what you do. Like you literally just say, Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming. Make sure you subscribe to Timcast. Continue to watch my videos, please. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. It's easy to do what you.
All right, that was, oh man, yeah, Tim fucked up there. That was stupid. Wow, that's crazy. Again, the thing is, I don't disagree. Look at how many MAGA pedophiles are in this chat every single day making death threats against me, right? And there's never any accountability for those pedophiles. I can report the comments. YouTube doesn't do anything. YouTube doesn't do anything. And again, like I said earlier, that's the theme of this show, is that these terrorists are out there threatening me. They're doxing me, right? And the feds don't do anything. The pigs don't do anything because, frankly, they agree. They think that I'm the danger rather than these MAGA pedophiles that are raising the price of gas, going to war to distract from a bunch of pedophiles, including their molester in chief. Nothing happens. That's why I have to buy all these guns, right? That's why I have to get all these security systems. That's why I have to get all the fucking booby traps in my goddamn house. I got to make sure I don't fucking step over some shit that's going to launch some shit and, you know, get me hurt. Like, when that kind of stuff happens and there's no accountability and people can just make terrorist threats like these MAGA pedophiles do, that's like kind of a small baby step towards civil war. When there is no longer a rule of law that protects the people and people take the law into their own hands, like I'm going to have to do if one of these MAGA pedophiles shows up at my door, yeah, man. I think there will be a civil war. New FBI docs released via FOIA show DOJ had a document flag list when it began reviewing Epstein files last year. There are 16 entries simply marked POTUS. Like I said, Trump is a pedophile. Your guns can't go through my steel biceps. Depends if I use my armor penetrating rounds or not. All right, so that covers everything, looks like. I know, I'm fucking with you, Omzi. Omzi, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. But that's going to be it for me. I got to go. I got shit to do.